Hey guys, welcome to the 4th week of Jazz Ninja Lessons. Today we're going to do a music theory in a nutshell video to help people get up to snuff who might have been a little lost in the last couple lessons. So let's get started. Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about the major scale and some of the inner workings of that scale. And we're going to work in the key of C so that you can see very easily what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to play the major scale first to start. So it's a group of 3 and a group of 5 as far as fingering is concerned. And if you're gonna deconstruct it in terms of whole steps and half steps, which a half step would be a chromatic step, and then a whole step would be skipping 1, which is 2 baby steps. So the whole major scale system can be broken down in terms of whole steps and half steps. It's almost like binary in my opinion. And so it would be whole step, half step. You see there's no black note here. Whole step, and another half step on top. Okay, so again, that's whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Okay, so this is our basic scale, and if you take that pattern, you can actually apply it to any note as a starting point and do the same thing. So if I was gonna make D our starting position, I could do whole step, skip 1, half step, whole step, half step. Okay, so you can build this major scale in any key based on the whole step, half step pattern. Okay, so back to C major, we're gonna go back to the C major scale and we're gonna harmonize it. Okay, so I'm gonna build stacks of thirds. So I'm gonna skip 1 each time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there I have a 7th chord. Okay, so you can take this shape and work it through the major scale. Right? So this is a great way if you're a beginning producer and you want to make some chords that make sense. If you start building in terms of thirds, you're gonna find some pretty basic structures that will work in many circumstances. So let's go back through the harmonization of the major scale one more time, and we're gonna talk about the nature of each chord. So this one is a major 7th chord. We've got a major 3rd and a major 7th. If it was minor 3rd, it would sound like this. Major 3rd, okay? So if it's a major 3rd, it means that it has 4 half steps between the 1 and the 3. So this being 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that means that it's a major 3rd. And between the 3rd and the 5th, I have 3 half steps, so that's a minor 3rd. And then between the 5th and the 7th, I have 4 half steps, which means I've got a major, minor, major stack. Okay, so major 7th. This is a minor chord as well because the 1st and the 3rd only have 3 half steps in between. This is the same chord, a minor 7th chord, major 7th chord, just like this one. Once we get to the 5th, we have a new kind of chord because generally in the key of G, if we follow the whole step, half step series, we would have an F sharp, but in this case, in the key of C, we have an F natural, which gives us a major, minor, minor stack, which we call a dominant chord. Dominant chords come into handy, especially in blues music, a lot of modern American music. Love the dominant chord, okay? So now we're on to the 6th degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have another minor chord, okay? So we have 3 minor chords located in the major scale on the 2, the 3, and the 6. On the 7th, sorry, I've got a little puppy crying over here. That's Brody, the new puppy. So the 6th chord is minor, and then always when we get to the 7th degree of the scale, we have a special case here. This is a minor, minor, major stack, which is a half diminished chord, which we can talk about at a later date. So for my more advanced followers and learners, there's something very cool you can do to the scale to make it sound super hip. So I'm gonna take this chord again, I'm gonna take the third voice and I'm gonna drop it down an octave. And now I have a really nice voicing, a fourth, a third, and a fifth, a very open sound. And this is called a drop 3 voicing, so you can do your major scales in this way as well. A very Bill Evans thing to do if you're familiar with Bill Evans. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening. So if you're gonna practice any of these things, I highly suggest doing it in a couple keys if you can, in addition to C major. And then if you're feeling really industrious, do it in every single key to become totally fluent in music. Next week, we're gonna go over some really cool hip voicings. So tune in next week for lesson 5 of the Jazz Ninja series.